Hello there. So, I heard that Death Battle from Screw Attack, their series, is going to be doing Ichigo versus Naruto. So I just felt like giving what I think would happen. And I'm going to give the 3 possible scenarios that I see. Scenario 1, Naruto cannot see Ichigo because Ichigo is a spirit, and in that scenario, Ichigo wins because Naruto has no way of knowing what's going on, so he's just going to get killed before anything happens, and that would be boring to watch. Option 2 is chakra is not the same thing as spiritual pressure, which also wouldn't make for a very interesting battle, because in Bleach, as is shown when some random dude off the street goes to touch Aizen, if someone has a high enough amount of spiritual pressure, someone who has none and goes to, like, touch one of them, someone who has a lot, they just disintegrate. So, assuming that chakra does not equal spiritual pressure leads to Naruto going in for an attack and just dying. And so, then there's the one that is actually a bit less just Naruto dies for no reason, is chakra equals spiritual pressure and Naruto can see Ichigo, because in those other 2 scenarios it wouldn't be a fun fight to watch. And no one wants to see a fight between someone who can't see a dude or a fight between someone who'll just die from trying to attack the guy. So, what I'm going to say is chakra equals spiritual pressure, and Naruto can in fact see Ichigo, because otherwise it's just not gonna be fun. So, personally, I am much more familiar with Bleach than with Naruto, but I have read both of them all the way through, and I enjoyed both of them. I personally prefer Bleach as a series, and my personal thoughts on this are that Ichigo would just stomp Naruto, no difficulty. But, since, that wouldn't be fun, I'm going to assume a low-balled Ichigo and a high-balled Naruto, for the sake of it being fun. Because if you highball the crap out of Ichigo, if you just wank him, Ichigo lands at multiversal. Because Yuha, the final villain in Bleach, if you really think about it, he was literally God. And so, yeah, Ichigo, his Bankai was threatening enough that Yuha stated that he could not afford any mistakes, and he had to use his Hack's power, the Almighty, which is, I can alter the future however I want, ha, Ichigo, to break his Bankai, because he was scared of it. So, that should tell you a bit about Ichigo. And so, Yuha was going to erase Hueco Mundo, which is the dimension for the Hollows, which is universe-sized, by the way. He was going to destroy Soul Society, the dimension for the, spirits that aren't Hollows, again, universe-sized, and the human world, again, a universe. So, he was going to destroy all 3 of those, and then recreate them how he wanted them. And he was just going to do this. So, Ichigo is threatening to a man who is going to erase 3 universes. Yeah. Even if we lowball and say that he was just going to go one at a time, that would still place Ichigo at close to universal. But, you know, if we want to just wank Yuha, we can just say he was going to snap them out of existence and they would just be gone forever and he would make new ones. And if he could do that, just snap, no diff, universes are gone, that would land him at probably around multiversal. But, you know, it's never been shown that he would be able to do that, so. But yeah, the only reason that Ichigo won the fight against Yuha is because of the still silver arrow thing that made no sense. If it wasn't for the still silver, Ichigo would have died. And Yuha would have gotten his way. But yeah, so we're going to lowball and say Ichigo, not universal. If you want to like midball, he would be like multiplanetary-ish, considering he was threatening to a guy who, even if we say that Yuha was just solar system level, which wouldn't make sense, then that would land Ichigo at around multiplanetary, which would be around a mid-ball for him. Well, mid to low. And that still wouldn't be very fair for Naruto, considering a high-ball Naruto with Wank is planet level. So, you really just don't want that. So, we are going to lowball Ichigo and only use his 1 feet from when he literally vaporized a mountain. People like to take that and be like, oh, that was a hill. If it was a hill, it was a pretty dang big hill. And yes, if it was a mountain, it would have been a pretty small mountain. But still, you must keep in mind, Ichigo didn't, like, knock it down or, like, turn it into rubble. It was there. Then, he flicked his wrist to block Aizen, and it was gone. Nothing left. So, he erased a mountain from existence from a good distance away. Which, you know, if we lowball the crap out of that and say that he wasn't using literally none of his power, because, by the way, the reason I'm using that Dangai feed is because it's stated that, by Yuha, that true Shikai Ichigo is around the level of Dangai Ichigo. So, yeah. But, even if we say that that wasn't, like, none of his power, and say it was, I don't know, 10%. Let's say that mountain was 10% of Ichigo's power. So that would make it so that Ichigo, going full power, would be able to vaporize 10 mountains from a solid distance away. Or, using physics, since shockwaves lower in power exponentially based on how far away you are, we could about scale that to around, you know, moon to island, maybe country, maybe continent, maybe moon level. Considering that he bisected Yuha twice. So, we could put Ichigo at moon level. That is where we will put Ichigo. His speed, pretty hard to calculate. I will use the time that he blocked 1 million tiny blades in an instant. Do you think Naruto would be able to do that? Because it's not like they were coming at him in a straight line where he could just hold out his sword and block all of them. They were coming from every direction. And this was beginning of series. This was the first time he was shown in Bankai. He blocks 1 million tiny blades coming at him from all directions, flying around trying to dice him up in an instant. Which, even if we say that it took him 5 whole seconds to block all the million blades, that's still 200,000 blades per second. I have a hard time believing Naruto would be able to do that. Like, oh yeah, Naruto dodged a ray of light. Yeah, but we can also chalk that up to him having some slight clairvoyance where he can, like, sense things coming. Slightly. Like, we can say that Naruto is relativistic to the speed of light. Because, here's the thing about Naruto. They don't shoot out their attacks and then yell it, or shoot out their attacks as they're yelling the name. They yell the name of the attack and then shoot it out. Why would you do that? So, he knew it was coming, so he would have been able to at least somewhat see it coming and dodge out of the way easier. So, we can say he's around the speed of light, slightly lower. Ichigo was able to take on Aizen. And Aizen is stronger than Madara. But yeah, I think that even if we lowball Ichigo and say his speed is, he's slower than Naruto. He wouldn't be much slower. Even if we, like, let's say he's 1% slower than Naruto. That would be a huge difference, and he wouldn't really be able to hit Naruto very well. But the thing is, Ichigo has far more stamina than Naruto. Like, Naruto, we've seen him just get tired out from, you know, just normal stuff. Even towards the end. Ichigo fought a guy who had literally infinite stamina. I'm talking about Aizen, by the way. So, yeah. Ichigo would be able to wear Naruto down through stamina and durability. Seeing as he was taking attacks from Yuha, which even if we lowball the frick out of him, would be sitting at solar system. Because here's the thing, when he says, I'm going to destroy the world, he doesn't mean he's going to destroy one planet. He means he's going to erase all of existence and recreate it. So yeah. It's not going to be a fun fight for Naruto. Because his Biju bombs, or Biju Dama, or whatever you want to call them, like, even if we say they're mountain level, which I had a hard time finding, like, the specific panel for it. I couldn't find it, but I've heard most people say that it's mountain level. So we're going to go with the Biju Dama from Naruto is mountain level. Ulquiorra, his spear. He wasn't allowed to release his sword in Las Noches, that's what it's called, because it might destroy it from just being released. So, if him releasing his sword, just the first release, would have destroyed Las Noches, which, stated by Nell, getting from, like, where they came in, which was towards the edge, to the actual gate into the castle, took 3 days. That's pretty dang big. And even if we say that Las Noches is 3 days from one end to the other, at just a human's walking speed, which is likely not the case, it's likely 3 days to get from the edge to the castle running. But even if we say it's 3 days at a normal human's walking pace, that's still pretty freaking big. That's bigger than any city I know of. Like, that's just massive. And if Ulquiorra releasing his sword would have destroyed that. Imagine how powerful his Gran Rey Zero is. Which, by the way, Vassallorde Ichigo, which is weaker than Dangai, blocked with his bare hand, no scratches, just hand out, and it's blocked, no scratch or damage whatsoever. If he can take that, which we do see how massive the explosion is, the explosion is about the size of Datara's self-destructing technique. He can block that type of thing with one hand, no scratches. No difficulty, no damage. Do you honestly think that Ulquiorra's spear is less than mountain level? That attack is like island level, at least. And yeah, I just don't see a way for Naruto to win. Like, yeah, he could just multi-shadow clone jutsu, go 1,000 Narutos! But here's the thing, the shadow clones aren't as strong as the original. It divides their power between them. So if he makes 1,000 Narutos, it's 1,000 people at 1/1000th the strength of the normal Naruto. Ichigo, in his Shikai form, would be able to kill them all with one Getsuga. But hey, let's say they all dodge a Getsuga. What are they gonna do when he goes Bankai and Gran Rey Zero Getsuga Tenshos? Tell me, please. But yeah, just from what I've seen, if you wank Naruto, he lands at around planet level. If you lowball the crap out of Ichigo, he lands at around planet level. Who wins? Oh yeah, and again, the reason I'm not taking wank Naruto versus wank Ichigo is because it would just be like, if any of you have seen Yu Yu Hakusho, it would be like that time that younger Toguro flicked that one dude and exploded his head. So, yeah. And also the reason we're, again, if we say chakra and spiritual pressure are not the same thing, there's no point to it because Naruto will just die from being close to it. That wouldn't be a fun fight. And if we say Naruto can't see him, he just dies because he can't see him, which wouldn't be a fun fight. Yeah, so from what I know, Naruto would lose. That's just what I think would happen. And now, I know that Screw Attack isn't always the most accurate. Take, for example, Goku versus Superman 1 and 2. I'm not going to go through all of the horrible low balls of Ichigo, or not Ichigo, of Goku, and the ridiculous high balls of Goku, or, jeez, I'm messing up on names, and the ridiculous high balls of Superman. If you want that, a guy by the name of Seth the Programmer already did 2 videos debunking both of the Goku vs. Superman videos from Screw Attack. Watch those. But yeah, anyway, those are my thoughts. If you think differently, tell me in the comments down below. And if you liked the video, like you don't, then subscribe, please. Share it with your friends.